I'm live. I'm live. Hello, YouTube. I'm back on a lovely Tuesday. Of course, I'm in Facebook jail yet again. So I have to moonlight on the YouTube. Seems I'm a habitual offender. And the truth be told, I feel like it's my duty to be as bad and irreverent as I possibly can on there. I've been feeling like that's my duty for a couple years now. It's good that I have this refuge to come to when I am incarcerated. Now, okay, let's be fair about these incarcerations. I think that I need to be fair about it. First and foremost is they have to put filters on their public forum. After years and years of misinformation and propaganda and just plain old down outright lies. I mean, worse than Santa Claus, worse than the Easter Bunny, worse than anything that you can imagine. Just lies. So, of course, they have to put filters in place to make sure that people aren't just allowed to get on there and pretend like lies are the truth. So, they also have to put filters in for people being bullies, being mean, using intimidation. I mean, the truth be told is that we're starting to be held liable for these things. I mean, for years and years and years, we've been saying that the deplorables stole the last election. And it's misunderstood. It wasn't stolen by fraudulent votes. I mean, that's the whole fraudulent vote thing is pretty much conspiracy theory. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people do not vote from a graveyard. They don't do that stuff. That's just fantasy. We are too good at being fair about that in our society by this time that it's hard to cast a fraudulent vote. If you do, odds are you're going to get caught for it. So that's conspiracy theory in large part. What did happen in, say, 2014 through 16ish, and it continues to happen to this day. It happened again in the last election. It just didn't work. Is how they steal votes is through misinformation, is through down outright propaganda. They tell lies, you see, in order to get people to believe what they want them to believe. Now, prime examples of that, the very first one was the birther thing. They absolutely saturate you with the bullshit notion that your president was not American. And not only was he not American, he was a Muslim terrorist. So they saturate you with this bullshit. They keep pounding it and pounding it and pounding it into people's heads. And eventually they believe the bullshit. They did it with Benghazi too. They wanted you to think that Hillary was a traitor, that she just threw them soldiers and she didn't even give a shit about them. No, she held them to their oaths to protect America, to protect that embassy. That was their job. That was their duty that they took an oath to do. And millions and many, many dozens of men have done the same exact thing in her position. But for some reason, they wanted you to think the woman was a traitor. They wanted you to think the black man was a Muslim terrorist, and they wanted you to think the woman was a traitor. So what did they do? They bombarded you with misinformation and down outright flat lies to steal your vote. They stole your vote through propaganda and misinformation and disinformation. Now, see, I understand that that's a hard concept for most people to get their brains wrapped around. They just don't get it. That's stuff for the movies, right? This is movie stuff. This is what the Nazis did. Yes. This is what the Nazis did. This is what dictators do. They take control of information and they cultivate it to what they want it to be. And that's how they take advantage of you. Now they're going to try and flip the script and say, well, people who are educated are indoctrinated. You went to college and now all of a sudden that you learned how to think and critically think for yourself, and you have different perspectives and you have a wealth of knowledge and information, somehow that makes you the bad guy. That makes you the dumb one. If you can think, if you have an education, if you're an intellectual, then somehow you're the bad guy and you're indoctrinated into socialist ideals. No, that's a lie. The more you're educated, the more you understand, the more perspectives that you see, the more wealth of knowledge that you have at your disposal, that tends to make you smarter. I mean, I know that's a risque. How dare we say something like that? But it's the truth. Open-minded people with different perspectives who have had a higher degree of education tend to be smarter than the rest of the people. I know that's just a crazy thing to think, but it's the truth. So what they basically do, and this goes all the way back to Copernicus. This goes all the way back to Jesus. This goes all the way back to conservatives versus liberals since the beginning of time. The conservatives want to make you think they have a monopoly on the truth, that everything they believe and think and say is the absolute truth, while at the same time telling you these people out here with open minds and education and thoughtfulness, these guys are the bad guys. These new ideas, these new understandings, this new knowledge. No way, the world can't be round. It's flat. Right? The world has to be flat because it's always been flat. So what's this crazy son of a bitch coming and telling me that all of a sudden the earth is round or spherical? It's not flat. I'll fall off the end. Watch, I'll show you. So they go around and around and around the damn thing, and come to find out, oh yeah, these guys weren't so crazy after all. The world really is round. And it's an old notion. It's how old notions become locked in people's minds, and they fight for that old notion, and they try to hold everybody else back with it. And this is not a new fight. It's different. It's the same shit, different day. Is what we're dealing with the conservatives yet again. And that's how them conservatives stole the election in 2016, is that they took a hold of certain groups of the population. The first group of the population that they took a hold of and they put their hooks into, and they started bombarding with different disinformation, which they already had a great machine of disinformation at their disposal, was the Christian right. Conservative religious people. They had the 700 Club to do their dirty work for them. They had all these conservative ministers up there preaching the good word. but really it's not the good word. They want to keep women as their ribs. They want to keep women under their thumb. They want to hold dominion for the white male, or some of them want to take care of whitey and hold their positions as a top black male. The point is that they live in the past and they want to hold everybody else back to the past because that's where they feel safe. That's where they feel secure. That's where they feel like they matter. And somehow in their mind, they've been taught that this is how it's best for everyone. If it's best for me, then it's best for everyone. So I guess this one became about disinformation. So let's get back to that focus. The focus of disinformation, misinformation, how you guys stole. Well, Russia helped you because they have all these hundreds, thousands of sites on social media pumping this disinformation and propaganda into your everyday lives subtly, not so subtly. It comes to a point where you are absolutely brainwashed. But then you accuse us of being brainwashed. See, that's how they get you. That's how they got you. They played on your faith. That's one of the first things they did. They got hundreds of millions of Christians, Christian rights, conservative Christians, typically older white conservative Christians, and they played on their God strings. All these liberals want to kill babies, and all these liberals, they just want to take away family values, and these liberals want to let guys go to the girls' restroom, and these liberals are just taking over the world. These crazy socialist liberals just want to destroy Christianity. They don't want America to be Christian anymore. Just a bunch of horse shit to get you riled up, to make you vote for a punk ass stupid piece of shit instead of an eminently qualified female. They okey doked you into voting for a stupid punk ass piece of shit rich boy instead of a woman who was more qualified than probably anyone in the history of this country to do that job. Had more credentials, been through the trenches for America more than any fucking person who's ever walked on the face of this planet. And you voted for a stupid punk ass piece of shit rich boy. Why? Because he was white and a rich boy. And because he had a hot wife. That's what you did. And guess what? They okey doked you into doing it because they knew exactly what strings to pull on you. They told you you're very qualified and great president. Your black president was a Muslim terrorist and he was against America and he was trying to lead America astray. They lied to you about that. Then they lied to you about the woman. Yeah, she's a bitch. Everybody knows she's a bitch. She has to be a bitch. She's competing with men her whole life. She has to be a royal bitch. She has to stand tall in front of men and say, fuck you. She has to be a bitch. But she's a bitch that knew her shit. She had been there. She had done that more than most every man that you know. More than any male that's alive. And you guys just don't get it. You damn conservative Christians want to talk about respect. Respect Jesus, respect God, respect your elders. What about respect what that woman has done? How about you respect that? But no, you couldn't, because Jesus and God still tells you that that woman's nothing but your rib. She ain't nothing. That's what they've been telling you, subtly and not so subtly. Now all of a sudden, it's okay to take away a woman's God-given right to do with her body what she chooses. Now they're telling you that's okay too. It's in your right to take a woman's rights now. Not only can we not allow this very qualified woman to do a job she absolutely earned the right to do, we can't give her just due. Now we want to take her rights too. And that's okay. Why? Because God says so, right? Because God says it's okay. Because your God says that, oh, she's just my rib, so I can treat her however I want to treat her. I hold dominion over her. And that's what you're saying without really saying it. Now, see, most people don't see these things, and I understand that. They don't get it. They can't wrap their brains around the fact that they've got okey doked. That people played on their heart. Your heart always misleads you. Your heart always misleads your brain. If you let your heart do your thinking for you, odds are you're going to get fucked up in the end. And that's some pretty conservative wisdom for you right there. Sure, you should have heart and be passionate about things, but you got to do your thinking with your brain. But they made you do your thinking with your heart. They made you feel like everybody was against America. These damn liberals and Democrats and Muslims and Mexicans and poor people and educated people and all these people just against America. They ain't Americans anymore. They're socialist liberals that want to just... America is a liberal idea, you dumbass. America continues to be one of the most liberal ideas on the face of the planet. Government of, for, and by the people. Do you really even understand how liberal of an idea that continues to be 300 years later? The audacity of us to allow the people to rule themselves. Do you know how fucking liberal that is, just of its essence? And you want to talk about how liberals are trying to destroy a liberal notion. And then you want to talk to me about logic. How is that logical to you? Liberals created this fucking society for you. Liberal minds that saw new ideas, that saw new ways, that tried to figure out the new information that was put before them to do things better, to form a more perfect union for all humanity. Do you know how crazy fucking liberal that is? But no, you got to live under the umbrella of luxury that crazy notion provided you your whole fucking life. So you don't have to stop to understand it, do you? You don't have to get it. You don't have to get shit, except for your money. That's all you got to care about, right? Getting yours. Because the truth is you're too fucking stupid to figure out anything else, I suppose. You don't have to care about what this society means to humanity and the world. You only have to care about what this society means to you, right? Selfish. That's the definition of being entitled. That's the Webster's dictionary definition of being entitled. that you think you deserve the right to all the luxuries that America provides you, but nobody else is. That's what you think. That's entitled, motherfucker. You see? That's what it means to be entitled. That you think because you were white and Christian and American that you deserve every fucking thing that America has to offer and nobody else gets it. That's entitled. But that's not me. You see, me, I'm a white Christian American that believes that everybody should be afforded the luxuries that America provides us all. Everybody should be equal. Everybody should get the opportunities that everyone else is getting. And it's our jobs to make sure that that's true. Because our ancestors did it for us, and now we need to do it for posterity. We need to make sure our children and their children and their children and their children get it too. And get it a little bit better than we did. Because that's how we roll in America. You see? That's how we roll. Forming a more perfect union. They even mentioned posterity in the Constitution too. Go back and look. Them words are important. They were trying to form a more perfect union for posterity. That means everyone. The future. Humanity. The world. Not just your punk ass entitled self. So I'm sorry, Mr. Closed-minded conservative. We have to open our minds and include everyone, whether you like it or you don't like it. We have to let black people be the president too, guy. Sorry, but we do. We have to let women have a turn up there too, especially when they fucking earned it. Her whole goddamn life, she has been earning that job. She went to college. She became a lawyer. Yeah, she latched on to a Slick Willie. And for a long time, I was even bad on that girl because I was like, she's just riding Slick Willie's coattails. No, but she also became the Secretary of State and a senator and every fucking thing else under the sun. She was a great first lady for 8 fucking years. That woman done every fucking thing she should have had to do to be where she deserved to fucking be. And you stupid fucking conservative pieces of shit, with the help from Russia, it happened. Believe it, because it happened. Whether you can understand how it happened or not, it did. And you stole it from her. And you stole it from us. Now, yeah, that pisses me off. And it has pissed me off for 4 fucking years. And there's no other way to say it. That you selfish, closed-minded fucks deprived humanity of somebody who would have done that job great. Way better than what the motherfucker did for the last 4 years. Way better. In ways that you can't comprehend because you choose not to comprehend. Now, got a little heated there. We're almost halfway through. And I went off on a tangent there because that's just what I do sometimes. But let's get back to focus here. Back to focus. We're focusing on this disinformation thing, this misinformation, these bold-faced lies that they continue to pass off as truth. That's what they do. That's how they okey-doked you. That's why you're deplorable right now, is because you believe bullshit. And you believe it so much that you're ready to kill people for it. That's how fucking crazy nuts you are. Just like them damn Nazis. You believe so much fucking bullshit and you believe it's so powerful that you're ready to go out there and shoot fucking people for being liberal. Think about that. You're ready to go out and shoot people for being liberal in a society that was created by a liberal idea and liberal minded people and continues to be held strong by liberal minded people. And you want to argue logic with me. It's just absurd. It's humorous. It's amusing to me. You see, before, for the 4 years prior to this, yeah, I was like a caged rat because you stupid motherfuckers were in charge. So I was like a caged rat, like, motherfucker, what are these sons of bitches doing? But now I don't have to feel like that. Right now, you dumb sons of bitches aren't in charge anymore, so I can be free to la-di-da a little bit. But the truth is that you guys are still hanging around trying to fuck with this shit. And it's over. We can't do you like we did the Civil War. We're not going to go out like you want to and just slaughter each other for a couple years so you can straighten up. We're not going to do it like we had to do with the Nazis, like just go give them all fucking dirt naps. We can't do that no more. We have to be more civilized now. Okay? I know you don't understand that, and you're quick to want to kill everybody and fight. But civilization means that you try to be a little bit more civilized than you used to be. We just need to call you out for what you are. You're conservative, right wing, Christian, nationalist, domestic fucking terrorists. And you need to straighten the fuck up. And that goes for the liberal guys too that are trashing the towns and setting shit on fire. You notice you don't see much of that anymore. Huh, where'd all that go? No more riots. I don't see places burning much anymore. Do you? Huh, wonder why that is. It's because you sons of bitches aren't in charge no more. It's because society has nothing to rebel against right now. Makes sense, huh? Now we're getting back to what we should be caring about: sick people dying at an alarming rate, at a virus that we don't have a handle on quite yet. The fact that people aren't back to jobs, aren't back to school good yet. The fact that people have had to deal with this for a year and are sad and upset and depressed and just wanting to go crazy and nuts on each other. We have to go back to taking care of each other instead of taking care of Trump's ego. See the difference? See the difference by how a dictator operates and how a democracy operates? See, for the last 4 years, we were operating like a dictator fucking operates. All about him. Now we're going back to being all about the fucking people again, like a democracy does. So therefore, we have no need to riot in the streets. We have no need to protest shit and hold signs and yell, hell no, we won't go. We don't have to do that anymore because the bad guys aren't in charge anymore. Do you get that? Now, let's use the last half hour here and really try to get your brain wrapped around this disinformation, misinformation thing. I of course, we've got the prime examples of birther. There's one of them, big, huge prime example. You can throw Pizzagate in there. Think of some of the examples of just the utter fucking horseshit that they try to pass off as truth. Like 2 + 2 = 4. That's the truth. And so is this. Horseshit. It's not the fucking truth. You wouldn't know truth if it bit you on your nutsack. Obviously. So let's take a look at it, shall we? Let's take a look at some of them. Right now, a big thing is everybody's a pedophile, right? Every liberal that you know is a pedophile. Everybody who voted for Biden loves pedophiles. I just love pedophiles, right? Do you know how fucking absurd that is? Do you know what I would do to a pedophile if I had him right here in my I would do things that aren't even, they're unmentionable. I hate pedophiles just as much as you do. And if I thought for 1 second that Joe Biden was one, I'd still be riding in the streets. You know who is one? Well, I don't even know if really he is one. The truth be told, he likes young girls. He likes them young. Trump's always liked them young. You know, I'm talking 13, 14, 15-year-old young. He likes them. He likes to be powerful over them. He hung out with Epstein. He likes them young. He walked in on the Miss USA teen pageant trying to see all the young girls. He likes them young. But as far as being a pedophile, no. I don't think that he's a pedophile. Pedophiles like prepubescent females. They don't like titties. They don't like women that have been through, they don't like people who have been through puberty. They prefer babies, children, prepubescent human beings, which is just fucking disgusting and should be eradicated. That's who you should commit genocide on, is pedophiles, because it's a sickness and it should not be tolerated. You should never take advantage of a young child like that, ever. And anyone who does should be locked away and not allowed out in public. And that's how I feel about a pedophile. But somehow, because I voted for a Democrat and I have a liberal mind, I'm a pedophile. That's stupid. It's absurd. It's a lie. It's misinformation, disinformation. It's propaganda. And people believe it is the truth. And that cannot be right. We cannot allow that to stand. You cannot just throw around terms like a pedophile and attach that to any label you see fit. You can't just say, just because I voted for Biden, I'm a pedophile. You can't pretend like that's the truth. Because once you pretend that's the truth, what else is the truth? You see? We cannot allow these things to stand as truth. Because they're not. They're bullshit. And you've got hundreds of thousands of people on social media spewing these things like they're the truth. And eventually people start to believe that it is the truth. And that's why they fight. Because when they're shooting that liberal out there, they're thinking to themselves, well, he's a pedophile anyway. He deserves to die. That's how you get okey doked. Another thing that was big for you deplorables was not standing for the flag. Not standing for the flag thing was real big with you deplorables. All of a sudden, if you didn't stand for the flag, you weren't American. Bullshit. That flag, if it represents anything, it represents the fact that you are allowed to do whatever the fuck you want to do within reason. You have the right to do pretty much anything you want to fucking do within reason. You can't shoot people. You can't kill people. You can't rape people. You can't steal from people. I mean, but if you want to protest something by bowing or kneeling for the flag, you're absolutely allowed to fucking do that. You have every right to question your authority, to say, oh no, that flag doesn't represent me right now because it doesn't protect my people. President Obama, the very first black president in the history of this country, is absolutely allowed to stand up and tell the police to treat his people equal. That's his job. As a matter of fact, the very first black president in the history of this country, he had balls to stand up and say, hey, you motherfuckers are treating black people unfairly, and you need to quit. You need to hold yourself and each other accountable. That's what leaders do. Leaders hold themselves accountable, and they hold other people accountable for their fucked up shit. That's what we all should be doing. A good leader takes the blame and gives away the praise. That's what good leaders do. If something bad happens on a leader's watch, it's the leader's fault. If something good happens, it's because his team is good. That's how real leaders operate. They don't take all the credit and pass all the blame. Good leaders take all the blame and give away all the praise. No, it's not me, it's my team. What world am I living in? Isn't that the truth? Now, granted, I get a little bit heated about these things because they matter. I can feel these things deep down inside of me. And I don't understand why other people don't see them. But it's right there in front of your face. All these things that I spew and all these things that I say are rooted in what my eyes and ears and knowledge and understanding tells me. And I can establish it. I can dissect it for you. I can tell you exactly why and how and why I think what I think and how I think it. And all you can tell me is what Tucker Carlson told you. See, that's the difference. Is my mind can perceive things on its own. My mind doesn't need somebody else to tell me what to think. I don't need a preacher to tell me. I don't need somebody on Fox News to tell me. I can see and hear it with my own eyes and ears. I can compartmentalize things where they belong. I can take things in context. I can critically think for myself. Unlike the majority of the population, obviously. Well, at least 70 some million of you. Now, we must get down back to focus. Because I tend to get heated and then I go off on tangents, like I said. And I'm in the middle of a Facebook lockdown again. 30 days yet again. I mean, I'm on perpetual probation, one toe out of line, and I'm back in the poke. So I'm back in the poke. So that's why I'm on here for YouTube for some moonlighting. And that's what got me on the thing is that I get caught in traps. Good guys get caught in bad guy traps sometimes. I'm out there trying to fight the good fight with these disinformation deplorable fucks, telling them they're stupid and why and how. And that's what I've been doing for a while. I'm a real, keyboard warrior for Jesus, blah, blah, blah. So I get caught. My biggest thing is bullying. I'm always getting hemmed up for bullying someone, and you're goddamn right I'm bullying them because they need some of their own medicine. They need to feel how it feels to be intimidated by my intellect, to know that I'm smarter than them and I know more than them, and I'm going to make them look stupid if they don't shut up. They need to know that. They need to feel that. Because that's the only way you deal with a bully. You punch them in the nose. Yes, I will bully a bully. And I'll enjoy my work. So I'll continue to get thrown. I mean, I try to. They even give me little hints now. They'll be like, "Hey, man, this comment might go against our community standards. Do you want to erase it?" And a lot of times I'll erase it, but sometimes they'll catch me. This last time, I'm pretty sure I got turned in on a page. I was on Graham Allen's page, and that's a whole nother story. You'll have to go to Facebook to see that story. I was on Graham Allen's, and this happened a couple days after, and somebody must have turned me in from a comment because I told them I was all going to make them all my bitches. I told the deplorable nest, hey, get some backup, bring them on because I'm going to make you all my bitches. And they put me in jail for bullying people. Okay. I mean, if that's as bad as some of the things the deplorables have said to me, okay. I mean, I've had my life threatened on more than one occasion. They always want to beat me up. They call me everything but a white boy. But, I mean, if I'm bullying them, okay. I'll do my time. Come and grace YouTube with my presence. Now, the disinformation thing, the misinformation thing that we do need to discuss, and you do need to get your brain wrapped around, yes, Russia did help steal Trump's election. They tried to steal this last one too, but it didn't work, you see. Didn't work the second time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me kind of thing. So they didn't really get it through this time because people were tired of their bullshit, obviously. Another thing. Okay, let's get one more big truth here. And this is the coup de grace for Trump and his dictatorship when he tried to overthrow a democratic election. That's the coup de grace for every fucking dictator right there. He just, I mean, he might as well just get the Hitler mustache and start wearing a uniform because that's what dictators do. They get beat in a Democratic election and then they try to say it's fake. It didn't really happen. Let's do this over again. No, you got beat. You pissed so many people off that they got registered and over 80 million of them voted against you. The most in history. And you want to pretend like it's fraudulent and it's not real and it's fake. Okay. Okay, you're entitled to that stupid opinion. But the truth is over 80 million people got registered and voted your punk ass out. Because you sucked. For no other reason than that. So, we're moving on. And we need to establish, again in this country, truth. What's the truth? Okay, so we're getting a little bit outlandish here, thinking that everybody's a pedophile that don't agree with you, right? So let's get back to the truth. We're getting a little outlandish when you think that the greatest society in the history of history is somehow held a fraudulent election where millions and millions of votes got passed through for no apparent reason other than, to get a shitty dictator out. And the whole world's against you, right? I mean, every credible media source in the world and every intellectual and most every scientist and everybody's against you. But let's get back to the truth. What's the truth in America? You remember, we hold these truths to be self-evident. First of which, all men are created equal. All people are created equal. Women, men, black, white, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty, smart, dumb, doesn't matter. All people are equal in this country. Doesn't matter if they're Christian or Muslim or Buddhist or they worship pink unicorns. I don't care. They are equal and deserve the same rights and opportunities in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and 1A and 2A and the entire Constitution and what it stands for. Yes, they deserve some of your tax money. Yes, they deserve your help. Yes, they deserve the same opportunity as you. And if they don't have the same opportunity as you, then we should try to find a way to make sure that they get the same opportunity as you. Why? Because that's what we do. We endeavor to form a more perfect union for all these people. Because that's what our righteous notion says. This is the truth. In order to form a more perfect union. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That's the truth. So that's what we should endeavor to do every day, whether you like it or you don't like it. You have to learn how to become objective in this endeavor. I know that's a foreign word to some, but you have to try to find objectivity in the truth. The truth is oftentimes subjective, but we need to find ways to make it objective. And what does that mean? That means that a lot of the times my truth and your truth is different, but we need to find the truth. There's always three sides to every story: his story, her story, and the truth. We need to find ways to make the truth subjective, absolute. We need to figure out how we can make things like sociology, psychology, these kind of things as absolute as math, as absolute as science. That's what science endeavors to do. Science endeavors to find the truth. Now, of course, science isn't infallible either. Science makes mistakes. Science has trial and error. Science has the scientific method that takes time. That's like that vaccine. That vaccine's a miracle because typically that takes a long time. It is going to be a little bit scary to see what happens with that. Let's hope that they did their science good and that stuff works for everyone. Typically, it takes a little bit longer for science to work its magic. Good morning, Sketchy. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, all is well. Every American should want to help their fellow man and woman to ensure everyone has equal opportunities. We need more equity for people who are struggling at no fault of their own. Oh, that's a good one, Sketchy. Yes, I agree with that. We absolutely need to help people. Because here's the thing, guys. People forget in our history. We're too quick to forget history. Everybody at one point or another was the outsider coming in. The Irish, the Italians, the Germans, the Methodists, the Baptists, all these people came to this country to make a great melting pot. Okay, everybody has struggled. And because of their ancestors, they got better and better and better and better. And that's what this country's all about. It's about making it better for the next guy until we attain perfection. Now, of course, we probably will never attain perfection because it's probably never going to happen, but we should endeavor towards it. We should strive for it with everything that we do until it hurts. And then do it again. Because that's what this country is about. You want to talk about hard work and perseverance and all these great things that America has personified through the years. We need to do that shit too. We just can't say, oh, well, remember back when we persevered? No, we need to persevere now. We need to struggle and fight hard and sacrifice of ourselves to make sure that this rock keeps rolling righteously. And that's what I think people have forgotten. Nobody wants to sacrifice of themselves anymore. Or they want to pretend like their sacrifice was something special. No, you ain't special. That's the problem. At the essence, right there is the problem, the difference between deplorables and everyone else. Deplorables are the ones that think they're special. They think they deserve something more because they're Christian or more American or they're white or they've got a better job or they work gas and oil or they work in the coal mine. They want to find a way to be special. More important than everyone else. And they have the right to do whatever they want to do. Minority groups have been systematically discriminated through housing, employment. Oh, yeah. Education, healthcare, and incomes. You're right. No one is special. We're all 99.7% the same. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean, you can't get that through their heads that we're all basically the same. But yeah, the systematic discrimination, absolutely. I mean, Jim Crow's still alive and well, it seems. It's just more subtle. They don't have signs that says colored people can't drink here, but you know that you probably shouldn't go in there if you're colored people. Yeah, I mean, it's more subtle, it's more hidden, but the discrimination's still there for black people, for white people, for women, for Mexicans, Muslims, all these people, and that's what the boil is. That's what the zit is. That's what the underlying insidiousness of the racism is that it's still there. But now it's exploded and people don't want to deal with it no more. Now people are taking a stand. It started with a black man in the White House. They didn't want it to continue with a woman in the White House. And that's what precipitated this whole thing, is that change happened and they didn't like it. So they fought against it. Unreasonably, irrationally, fought against the change that's inevitable. Like I've said from the beginning, you got to let a black man who's qualified be a president. You have to let the woman who's qualified be a president, whether you like it or not. You have to respect her just the same way you would respect a man. You damn sure should respect her more than you did Donald Trump, for fuck's sakes. Like I said, I never really liked Hillary, but I've always respected what that woman can do and has done. That's just me, though. And I guess there are more people in this country like me than not like me, for whatever reason. After 4 years, people woke up and said, hey, man, I better take interest in this and we need to fix this, and fuck that guy. And fuck that way. I'm not going to sit around and hate everybody. Because that's what you got to do if you're deplorable. That's what you got to do if you like Trump. You got to hate everybody. You got to hate Muslims and Mexicans and liberals and Democrats and women who need help and kids who need fed and young adults who need educated. You have to hate everybody. Hate, 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 hate. And then project that and say, we are the ones that hate you. Yeah, we hate you. We hate what you represent. Hillary hit that nail right on the head when she called you deplorables, because that's what it is. You're deplorable. And you're proud of it. And to this day, there's people that still are proud of it. It's disgusting. But hey, man, I still love you. Still Americans. You're just stupid ones. You're ignorant ones. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe you're too passionate and tenacious for your own good. I don't know. But you need to straighten up. They need to start, it's like, that's like the thing that gets me sketchy about this more than anything. And I think this is what's hurt more than anything around here in my neck of the woods. What hurts me more than anything is that I have people that have known me my whole life and know that I'm a good man. I mean, sure, I've done my bad things, but deep down inside, I'm a good man. I care about people. I help people. I take care of people. I'm smart. I'm knowledgeable. I have an education. I am well-meaning, nice guy who would give you the shirt off my back. I'm qualified, in my opinion. And I'm usually pretty fair and honest when it comes down to it. But they would shit on me just to defend a punk ass stupid rich boy that they don't know from Adam that wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. See, that's the thing that gets me more than anything, I think. I do have tough skin, but I still feel. And I feel like, all these people out here that should take my word over some punk ass stupid dictator that is a piece of shit his whole life and proves it over and over and over again. It boggles my mind. Now I know how the Jews felt in Germany. I guess. It boggles my mind. But that's been my hour. Thanks for hopping on, Sketchy. I'll see you next time. I'm in jail for a little bit, so I'll probably be back on YouTube again sometime. But my hour's over, and it's run its course. And I want to thank you for watching if you did, and if you came later and watched again, thank you too. Thanks for the dialogue, Sketchy. I'll see you next time. Fairly Righteous Man out. Nice seeing you too, Sketchy. Oh, I will. I'll have a wonderful day. I'll be getting the boy here later on. But if you can get on Facebook, start hashtag freelance, because it's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm sorry I don't get to come on here much, but I get stuck on Facebook unless I'm in jail. You guys have a good day. Fairly Righteous Man out.